Not every character folds up for the same reasons. Some get power crept, some get replaced, and some are so broken the game literally changes because of them. Today we will be asking what happened to the characters that used to run Phantom Parade. Some quick rules for the video. For a unit to qualify, they must be meta at some point, developed due to power creep, new mechanics, or just outright being replaced. They are allowed to still be playable, they just can no longer be dominant. With that out the way, let's begin. We'll start off with a unit that probably fell the hardest. Blue Gojo. Blue Gojo used to be a day one staple. When you first start the game, you get a free SSR character selector. Everybody's first choice was Blue Gojo. This guy had a stranglehold on Phantom Parade when he first came out. He was able to do massive damage, which gave him the ability to carry early in Phantom Parade. Nowadays, content lasts a lot longer than the 7 turns he has allotted to him. His damage numbers are still very high, and his base kit is still extremely good, but his limited amount of turns on the field is what neuters this unit. Blue Gojo didn't get worse, the game just moved past him. In his current state, I wouldn't say he's playable. He's unable to tackle any of the late game content, he's no longer optimal as the #1 blue cursed DPS, and investing resources into him is a bit of a waste because you could just invest them into Blue Jogo, who's a Phantom Metal character, so you don't even need to gacha to get him. Just like Phantom Parade, we're moving past Gojo and onto Red Itadori. Red Itadori used to be a free-to-play monster. This unit was the best physical red DPS in the game on release, and with SP buffs he was still able to compete with future releases. Unfortunately for him, he was made redundant thanks to direct replacements and newer units doing the same thing but better. The unit truly isn't weak, he's just been replaced. In his current state, he's still usable, he's just not your first or second choice. You often see this man on free-to-play teams, often as the second DPS. Now, one of my favorite units from year 1 Phantom Parade, Mahito. This unit was one of the strongest units in all of Phantom Parade, if not the strongest unit in Phantom Parade. He was so strong, the rules of the game had to be changed just to keep this guy in check. Mahito was part of an oppressive strategy, stall, where the goal of the fight was to stall out as many turns as possible so Mahito could constantly spam his ult, dealing 15% max HP, killing any enemy he fought in 7 ults. It relied on other powerhouses like Kaito to give cursed energy, Rare Inumaki to increase the team's defense and give ult gauge, and finally Hanami, debuffing the enemy reducing their damage, comboed with Inumaki's defense up made the team take 0 damage on certain turns, and Hanami's ult dropped Mahito's domain, allowing him to build up his second ult a lot faster, no longer needing to wait for his domain to fall. This team carried me through every difficult floor on tower up to floor 40. Eventually, a change was added to Phantom Parade. Now, on tower floors past floor 50, if your unit is off color, you no longer passively build up ult charge, making it impossible for the Mahito team to get off 7 ults. They didn't nerf Mahito, they gutted his strategy. In his current state, he still has some niche uses. You often see him as a backup unit on a burst team, still able to get up that first ult, even when he's off color, just to hopefully chip away that last 15% of a boss's max HP. No longer oppressive, just a casualty to the design of JJK Phantom Parade. Now to the finale. The king of curses himself, Sukuna. Sukuna was a meta staple in Phantom Parade. He didn't join the game as early as the others before him, only coming out 1 year into the game's life cycle, but not even a year later was he power crept. Sukuna did massive AoE damage with the ability to apply a laceration. His skill 3 would hit as hard as others' ults, also applying stacks of laceration. These stacks of lacerations were colorless damage, meaning the boss could not resist Sukuna's damage. This allowed Sukuna to clear any content given enough time, similar to the Mahito strategy. Sukuna was famous for the line, "Just get Sukuna, I'll carry you to floor 50. This unit was strong, and everybody knew that. Sadly, in the new tower floors, bosses gained immunity to damage over time effects, making Sukuna's lacerations useless. This, paired with Blue still not having a dedicated curse and physical buffer, left Sukuna weak, and left room for a stronger unit, Blue Yuta, to take his place. If the meta shifts, and the next batch of blue floors don't have damage over time resistance / immunity, Sukuna could be back on top, but we're still gonna need to see a blue curse and physical buffer for Sukuna. These characters didn't fall off because they were bad, they fell off because Phantom Parade evolved. So many times have we seen characters come into the meta and then go out. Hopefully with future SP buffs, they'll be able to rejoin us once more. Which one of these characters do you think deserves to come back the most?